Welcome
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
to the Nasty Podcast.
What she said.
That's not a joke there. You can only do that when it's a joke.
Well, all right.
You think that's good intro music?
Absolutely.
All right.
Ooh, we're getting spooky now.
Oh, I did it wrong.
You did it wrong.
All right. Do we have to start over?
No.
All right. So, today's podcast is going to be spooky. Because you know about the situation at my house.
I do.
Okay, so if you're first time listening to this podcast and you have no clue, I do believe that my house is haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I believe, too.
You do believe.
I do believe.
Now, you've been to my house and nothing has happened while you've been there.
Correct.
And you haven't felt any uneasiness or anything weird, right? Besides me being there. I knew what you were getting at.
No, nothing weird, uneasy, nothing.
Right.
But I believe, the things that you've told me. So.
Right. So I have shared with you in the past that there's a lot of knocking.
Mm-hmm.
At different times. Sometimes, usually when I get ready for bed, my TV will crack 3 times.
Right.
Like all the time. It's 3 cracks.
That's weird.
So, I know sometimes TV, like older TVs, like tube TVs or whatever, they would make noises.
Okay.
But nowadays with the technology, there shouldn't be anything really cracking. Even with the humidity or temperature, there might be something, but it's always when I shut my eyes.
Oh.
And I can do it at any time, like if I'm going to bed. So if I decide to go to bed at 9, and then right when I close my eyes and I'm almost asleep, and I have my TV on, it'll make 3 little crack noises. Like, that's not it at all. But anyway,
Right.
3 little crack noises. So I was like, all right, that's weird. But then I would always hear like a thump or a knock, and it would be like coming from the ceiling or inside the wall or something weird.
Yeah.
Also, I've also realized, I'm not sure if I've shared this with you, that I feel like someone's like taking a whip or a belt to my refrigerator.
Oh, okay.
Now, of course, refrigerator makes noises too.
Yeah.
And I always try to debunk everything that I've gone through.
Of course, I think we all do. Yeah.
Yes, because you're like, okay, it's an old house. It's got wood floors.
Right.
Things are creaking, with humidity and temperature changes. Things can happen. You're not used to the house. I've only been there for 2 years now.
Right.
And so, but yeah, sometimes like if I'm in the living room, I will hear a noise out in the kitchen.
Okay.
And it sounds like, and the best way I can describe it is like a whip or like a belt just smacking the refrigerator door.
Yeah, that is weird.
I know. So, but it's not like the compressor or like, it's not a typical refrigerator noise.
Right.
It smells like someone's just smacking it.
Yeah.
So that's also happened. My daughter has said weird things throughout the time we've been there, So
Is she aware that she said these things?
It's just that the conversation she has with me, which I don't understand how she would have. Like,
okay.
Like her doll baby needed to have a funeral.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. That's kind of creepy.
That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't had any death in her,
in her lifetime.
So far. She's 7. So there hasn't been really even talk about funerals. She's never been to a funeral. I mean, she might have picked it up on TV or YouTube or something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's no possible way she knows nothing about it, but it's odd that because her doll baby was upside down with the thing on top of her, and when I questioned her why would she leave her doll baby that way, and she just says, oh, well, she needs a funeral. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's also has told me that she heard sweeping out in the kitchen.
Okay.
But she didn't see anything, so she was a little I don't know how to say it. I guess she was afraid to tell me, I wouldn't believe her.
Right.
And so I just reassured her, oh no, you probably heard someone sleeping because we need to sweep out there, but it's all right. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. It's okay.
Is she afraid of the dark or of ghosts, or does she have this knowledge, of what goes bump in the night or whatever?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, she's not really I would say scared of the dark.
Mm-hmm.
She does like to have sometimes a light on.
Okay.
But not always. I mean, she'll fall asleep and she'll be out.
Gotcha.
But we've also had pictures fall off the wall. And the one time she was there and it happened in the middle of the night, of course, I jumped right up, knew what it was because this is the second time it has happened.
Right.
Went out, and when I went to check on it, of course, the picture was down on the floor, and I was like, oh, great, here we go. Why are you ripping my pictures off my wall? Because I'm thinking maybe I just can't hang them properly because I'm not allowed to put nails because I rent.
Oh, right.
So I have to use the command strips.
Okay, yeah.
But I usually follow the procedures. I alcohol the wall and I hold it for 60 seconds and do all that stupid crap they tell you to do.
Right.
And then I have even extra poundage on there and like extra security to try to keep it on there.
Yeah.
And it still manages to fall off the wall.
Gotcha. Are the command strips still there when it falls off the wall?
Yes.
Okay, so see, that's creepy.
Yeah. Like it happened again, which I think is my fault. So it's happened 3 times, but I think the last one is mine because, well, we'll get to that part. But the time before, they were all on the frame. None of them was left on the wall.
Gotcha.
And then the time before that, they were on the wall and not on the frame. Or combination. No, it was a combination, and they're Velcro. So like someone ripped them off the wall.
Yeah, I see. Right.
Yeah, so it's not like it just peeled off the wall.
Right.
Someone had to rip them apart from the Velcro because it had been up there for a year.
And there's no wind tunnels type, action going on?
Nope, just my dining room.
Okay.
There's no fan in there.
Right. Yeah, I remember. Right.
I don't have usually my windows open in there.
Okay.
So there's, unless there's some weird thing, I'm not sure.
Like a ghost?
Maybe a ghost. But that night that it happened, I went out and checked, and then all of a sudden I heard my daughter call. She was in her bedroom asleep, and she said, "Mommy, I'm very cold." And she is one who does not wear blankets.
Like a hot sleeper.
She no blankets are ever on her.
Gotcha.
Half the time, if she would, she probably would sleep naked.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying not to let her do that at age 7.
Agreed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
We still have her with putting the underwear on at night.
Oh my.
I'm in trouble.
Yes, you are.
Oh my goodness.
My.
Oh yeah. So anyway, she says that she was freezing cold.
Okay.
She already had a blanket already wrapped around her.
Gotcha.
And she wanted another blanket on her.
And no signs of being sick or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And then the next morning when we got up, she walked out and she was like, "Oh, what happened out here?" I was like, What do you, honey, you woke up in the middle of the night when it happened." I did. I was like, "Yeah, you asked me for a blanket. You were cold." No
recollection.
None.
No doubt.
None.
Okay.
And her room was freezing cold.
No doubt.
And I would say most of what I feel is in her room.
Okay.
And that's why I think a lot of the time she would sleep with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if maybe she sees or knows more than I can see or know. Which
Right, because that's a thing. Yeah, right.
They say children can, see stuff and are more open to it.
Yeah.
And then as we get older, supposedly we kind of close that down or block it out or...
Yeah, we become closed-minded. And like you said, we start looking for reasons that it could be this, that, or the other rather than the supernatural. Yeah.
Yeah, because that can't be true.
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
So I went... I went one little step further. I decided to have it investigated.
Yeah, you told me, but we have not discussed the details.
We have not. So first I had our friend Justin come up.
Right.
And he did one of those EVPs and did recordings and stuff. And I still have not heard the EVPs.
Okay.
I have not met with Justin.
What's he said about them?
He said that he did catch some noises.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is when I was there with him, the most ironic or crazy thing, ironic's not the word I want to use, was when we were up in the attic. Because we also had an app running, which I've talked about on air before.
Right.
That we even played with.
Oh, yeah.
And it told us to go to the attic. But we went to the basement instead. And then when we went to the basement, it said attic. You idiots, I told you to go to the attic.
Right.
So when we finally got up to the attic, we heard this loud boom. Insane boom.
And you don't know where it came from?
It shook the whole house.
Oh, wow.
That's how we all felt it. And we were like, "You felt that? You felt that? Yep, you felt that? Okay, what was it?"
So was it a vibration or did you, or a mixture of the two? You felt it and heard it?
Both, yes.
Okay.
So, because we were sitting on the attic floor.
Okay.
And we could feel it.
Gotcha.
But it sounded like down below us, somewhere in the living room.
Okay.
Would have done it, but have no clue. So supposedly it said it had some noises that he couldn't figure out.
Okay.
And supposedly it said, oh man, no, I think. And then it said, oh, this is a podcast. I can cuss, right?
Yes.
I'm not getting in trouble.
No.
Okay, if so youngins listen, cover your ears.
Yeah.
It said, fuck me.
Oh.
But the way he's explaining it was like you idiot, like fuck me, like not as a sexual way, like the ghost was telling me, hey baby.
Yeah, right.
It was just like, oh, these fucking idiots.
Yeah, I got you. Right, okay.
Supposedly. I don't know. I haven't heard, so I don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. So he felt that there was probably something going on there. So I looked into this a little further, and I had Stacy, who is a medium and spiritual and knows the supernatural, come to my house.
And what did she find?
And it was very interesting. I'm going to have her on a podcast too.
Awesome.
She had these rods, and I don't know the technical term, but they were like these little rods you put in your hands, and they would move.
Okay, so I've seen something, because I don't know really what you're talking about either, but the way you put your hands just now, it reminds me, people used to do this thing to find water.
Yes,
okay.
That's what it reminds me of.
Okay.
So this is what she used to locate the ghost.
The spirit.
The spirit.
Gotcha.
And found it right away.
Okay.
And we were in my living room. And so when she would ask it questions, the rods would like pull apart.
Yeah.
And then they would come back together.
Ooh.
So anytime she would ask a question, it would pull apart and then it'd come back together. And I was like watching her, and there's
no way she could have done it.
No way she was doing this.
Yeah.
And so we finally determined that there was a ghost. And her name is Rose.
Okay.
She's 9 years old.
Oh.
She likes me and my daughter.
Okay.
We weren't really sure how.
Oh man, I just got cold chills, like, because I'm thinking about like what your daughter said about the baby doll, and then you talk about this little girl.
Yeah,
it's like whoa.
So
Okay.
maybe Rose needs a funeral.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and I need to figure out where Rose
is.
Well, she's in my house.
Well, right, right.
But it gets even more. So supposedly there was a guy presence too.
Okay.
And at first Rose admitted that was her dad.
Okay.
But then she retracted later on and said it wasn't her dad. But the guy would not speak.
Okay.
And Rose got upset because at one point when Stacy was trying to, go through the house, because she also said the dining room where the pictures off the wall fall, was she felt a lot of like presence there.
Okay.
And Stacy's been here to the studio before. When I was first like, hey, I hear that you do this, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll come over, and she's like, she was standing at the edge of the studio, and she's like, well, do you have a mother figure that passed? And I was like, thinking my mom, like, no, my mom's still alive. She's like, oh, well, I sent someone with the letter M. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know anybody named M that passed away, right? And the minute she walked out the door, it hit me. My grandmother's name, she went by June.
Okay.
But her first name was actually Marietta.
Oh.
Because she even said it was an older M name, like Maria or something older.
And she would have been like a mother figure to you?
And she was like a mother figure to me.
Okay.
Like, totally. And it didn't hit me till after she left. I was like, because we knew her as June and Nanny. Like, I didn't think of Marietta because she never went by that.
Right.
She even changed her name to be June. Like, so I was like, oh my gosh. So when she got into the dining room, she was like, is there anything of your mother figure that I sensed at the station in here? And I was like, looking around going, no. I said, but there's a photo of her. She's like, okay. She's like, but yeah, there's definitely something in the dining room. And which is funny because when Justin did his EVP session, he actually felt coldness in the dining room when he was doing it, that he actually could feel someone beside him.
Gotcha. And now I got to ask, did you tell her, Stacy, about anything or was this?
I didn't tell her anything.
You didn't tell her anything?
No.
Okay, nice.
I just told her that I felt like there's something there.
Okay.
And that, different things happen because also my lights flicker.
Right.
And they're only in my daughter's room.
Okay.
And then it started happening after my daughter started sleeping in my room.
Oh.
It started happening in my room.
Right.
So there's only 2 rooms that the lights flicker.
Gotcha.
And they will flicker more intensely if me and my daughter are arguing and yelling at each other.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
And I've had times where my daughter has looked up, like she's been dead asleep, getting up in the morning, and the light will blink, and she'll look right up at the light and be like, I know, I'm getting up. and it's freaky.
Right.
Because, like, why are you looking at the light telling you're getting up? Like,
Yeah.
did you see something I didn't see?
Right.
So I usually keep the big lights off.
Okay. I understand. I would too.
But, so there's that. So she said that, she felt something in there. I said, well, I have a lot of antiques also in my dining room that I've gotten from auctions because I had an auction problem.
Oh.
I did. An online auction problem. I started.
We're going to talk about that at some point.
That'll probably be another podcast. I have this old antique picture of this girl and a dog, and I think it's from like the either 1800s or early 1900s, and I have that hanging. It's never fallen off the wall.
Right.
And it's heavy as a mofo.
Yeah.
And it's still hanging on that wall.
I gotcha.
But my little corkboard picture frame
I see, right.
falls off the wall.
That's interesting.
And then I have like an old like silver platter tea set that I got from an auction. And So anyway. So Stacey ends up going into like the kitchen because she feels like she needs to go that way. And she's still talking with Rose the entire time.
Okay.
And Rose is still just talking away. And at certain points, the rods would actually like go all the way back. And Stacey said, well, that's her hugging me. She's like, I feel like it's a hug. So there was something like she was talking about that she might hug.
Right.
And like when she would mention about me or my daughter, sometimes she would do that because she likes me and my daughter.
Gotcha.
She did admit, Rose did admit that she is the one that's taking the pictures off the wall.
Oh, okay.
She is the one that flickers the lights.
Right.
She doesn't like Savannah and I yelling at each other.
Well, right. Okay.
Oopsie.
Right.
So
You better be nicer.
Stacey had to explain to her that, sometimes mommies, who care and are looking for their best interest in their daughter, that, that sometimes happens, but it doesn't mean that I don't love her any less or any, that, sometimes you just have to talk a little louder to get her to pick up her room.
Right.
Put her socks in the hamper.
Yeah.
So when she was in the kitchen, this is where I'm trying to get to. She was in the kitchen and Rose was still talking to her. She's like, I feel that guy presence. And she went to turn around. Well, Rose got mad. And that's when, like, she didn't want her turning around from her. And the guy, again, never said anything, was very quiet. But somehow there's a guy presence in there, too. But
So she only knows that there's a presence.
there's a presence.
Okay.
She knows she feels like it's a male.
Okay.
But nothing. He never said anything. He never really stepped forward. But she knew that he was there in the kitchen. I wonder if he's smacking my refrigerator
Oh, yeah, maybe.
with the belt.
Yeah.
But this gets even a little more weird.
I mean, I'm starting to like put a whole backstory together with this
Oh.
Rose and this guy and
There's more.
okay.
So we leave the kitchen.
Okay.
And Rose is okay now. Like she got over Stacey trying to find the guy. Because once she like turned around to find the guy, his presence was gone.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when Rose got kind of mad. And so then she went back to Rose, started talking to Rose, and Rose directed her to go to my daughter's room. So we head over to my daughter's room, and she's like, oh my gosh. Like she walks right to the closet. Now, always in my daughter's room at night, I always had this weird feeling in there. Like I had to close that closet door at night when she went to bed. I don't know why. I just I did not like it open. I felt like I had to have it closed. Well, here to find out, I had a whole bunch of kids in her closet.
What?
Tons of kids.
Tons of kids.
Kid ghost. Children ghost.
So back up real quick.
in her closet.
Did you ever tell your daughter about this, or like did your daughter ever question
No.
why you had this thing with shutting the
No.
doors?
No.
Okay.
No, I would just do it.
Right.
I just shut it.
I gotcha.
I'd move her stuff out of the way and just shut the door. I always had this weird feeling that I needed to shut that door.
Right.
Well, supposedly there's a bunch of kids in her closet.
Have you ever heard, or has anything ever come out of the closet? I heard it. Wait, I think the right one is. No. There it is. So yeah, like you've never heard anything or
No, but I've always felt so much presence, like so much in her room, and I think that was part of the reason why, like, she was, I don't know, I think why she slept in my room more. I think that's why she also used to really act out bad, because, I told you stories before where, like, she was just uncontrollable for a while, and I couldn't understand this, just, like, her behavior. So now I'm starting to wonder if all these kids in the closet were like affecting her. Or
Yeah. Like,
possessing her. I don't know.
Right.
I have no idea. So Stacy opened the door, the light or whatever. Like, I still need to understand all this.
Right.
And told the kids if they wanted to go that it was open and for them to go. The kids left.
Really?
All but Rose. Rose didn't want to go. But then,
so do you still feel that?
I feel it's a lot later in the house.
Oh, okay.
A lot later.
Okay.
And I can leave that door open now.
Really?
I don't feel like I need to shut the door.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
But then it was funny because right after she told the kids to go, she turned to Rose. I feel like Rose is really there, but she's there somewhere.
Well, yeah.
She turns to Rose and she's like, Rose, I want to let you know I did not get rid of your friends. Because it made her think like, oh my gosh, now all of her friends are gone.
Yeah.
And like, she's like this mean person, like sending away her friends. She's like, she's like, the door's open for you whenever you want to go and play, go see your friends or play with your friends or whatever.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to go. If not, Stacy said, then, you are okay to stay here. She's, as long as you respect her house, that you don't scare her anymore. You don't rip the pictures off her walls or whatever. You're fine to stay.
Right.
And the little rod things moved and hugged, and it was fine. She was okay with it. She understood that her friends were gone, but that, we didn't chase them away.
Right.
Like, we weren't trying to be mean about it.
Yeah. Oh, man, I feel like that could have went so wrong.
I know.
Like, she could get so mad.
I know. Like, and I didn't even think about that, but I was so grateful that Stacy thought about it at that moment and talked to her about it and tried to explain, because she's like, I had to think, she's a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And I just took all of her friends away.
Right.
And like, how would you feel?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have no friends now.
Oh, I'd be mad. Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. That's what's happening at my house.
Oh,
so I have
man.
Rose, who's 9, a guy somewhere, which is weird because when I used to do the Snapchat filters, there was always 2 faces that would show up.
Really?
One would be a really small face, and one would be a bigger face.
Okay.
And supposedly the app, they say, we'll go with your face.
Yeah.
So if there was a kid's face, it would be a lot smaller. And even when Justin was there, he had an app where it could show like, it was like a stick figure.
Yeah.
But it would show like a person if it was there or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen on some of the Ghost Hunter shows, they use it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little figure in my daughter's room, not even like sitting on her chair, but up on the left corner, but it was a small figure.
I gotcha.
So it was one of the kids.
Yeah,
Rose.
apparently.
I have
right.
a feeling it was Rose.
Yeah.
Because even when I did a Snapchat filter the other night, a little face was in my filter when I send it out.
Jeez.
So anytime I do a Snapchat filter, I have to check because usually there'll be an extra filter in my Snapchat.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So have you experienced, after all this, what's the experience been like afterwards?
It's been a lot quieter. I still have some knocking here and there in the refrigerator.
Okay.
But again,
See, because that dude seems pissed.
Yeah.
Or something.
Something's
not
weird
right.
about him.
Yeah, right.
Why would you have a closet full of kids?
Right. Well, I'm telling you, like, it's
Like,
creepy
is he
stuff.
some type of like, was he like a serial killer or something?
Right.
Or did something... But, the one weird thing is on that app, it always said asylum, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
But then Silent Amanda here, she did a little research for me because I told her about it.
Right.
Because you weren't around to tell about it. So now I've had to wait weeks to tell you about it.
Right.
So why not on a podcast?
Yeah, why not?
I told her about it, and so she started researching. I need to find out if there's like a Greencastle historian or something around here, because I know growing up in Boonesboro, we had one. There's even a museum, the Boonesboro Museum, and everything, and you could just go to him, and he knew everything about the town.
Gotcha.
My grandfather's kind of the one for Roarsville.
Okay.
So I need to find out who the Greencastle one is, because we went and looked, and we found a map of Greencastle in the 1800s, and right across the street was a cemetery.
Really?
In the 1800s.
Oh my!
Right across the street from my house.
There's houses.
There's
across
houses
it.
there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but where my house where my house is, and where the map is, we figured out what the street, because the streets weren't named the same except for I think Baltimore or something, or was still Carlisle and Baltimore might have still been the names back then. I have to double check. But as they went farther back, the names have changed over the years.
Gotcha.
But we figured out where my block is. That there was a cemetery right in front, which makes even more sense because my neighbor to my right has stuff happening at their house.
Oh, okay.
Toys will turn on.
I didn't know your neighbors had stuff going on.
Both neighbors.
Okay.
So the new ones that are over to the left.
Right.
You've met them.
Yeah, I've met them.
We sent them out in the ambulance.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, sorry about that.
Unintentionally.
Sorry, Josh.
Yeah.
Stay away from the moonshine.
Yeah.
They are starting to feel creepy about stuff over there.
Okay.
Because they questioned me just recently about anything, if I knew about anything.
And had you told them?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So this is completely out of the blue.
They just out of the blue, they brought this up. So I thought it was interesting how they brought it up to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I was waiting for you to ask me about it. And they were like, really? I was like, yeah.
You sent all the kids away, and then you sent them to their house.
Maybe. That would be cool.
Would it
play
be?
over there.
Would it?
No, I wouldn't put that on them.
Yeah,
No.
right.
But yeah, the neighbors to the other side, he's actually an attorney. She's a school teacher. So, smart people.
Mm-hmm.
And they have toys that turn on, banging in their pots. Actually, the kid's aunt was over recently, and I was talking to him out in the yard, and she's like, "Oh yeah, there's something upstairs."
Right.
Oh yeah, she's like, "I have to tell it not to leave us alone."
Dang.
And this is the first time I met this lady.
I mean, y'all are some tough people, because I'd have been like, I'm out. Yo, you got it. Yeah, I'll leave your house. I'm out.
And they're even saying it down like the street. Actually, one of AJ's friends lives farther down from me.
Gotcha.
Supposedly in his house.
Really?
Yeah, I was questioning AJ about it today, so I need to find out for sure. But
yeah,
my neighbor said that supposedly you don't go in the basement in that house.
Ooh. You got to find out.
So now, yeah, and I'm curious because the house on the corner from me, I have weird vibes about.
Really?
I don't know why, but there's something weird about it that gives me vibes. And
gotcha.
even the house beside my neighbors gives me weird vibes too.
Just the house, not the people in them.
No, I don't even know the people.
Oh, okay.
I've never
Gotcha.
met them.
Okay.
So I can't say it's the people.
Gotcha.
Just that, how sometimes houses just give you this
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah,
creepy
yeah.
vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those two houses they give me creepy vibes. So I have a feeling it's more than just my house and my neighbor's house.
Yeah, it sounds like
it's definitely
it.
the land. And even Stacy said she felt it was like the land. It was something there, and that's, we should research it more. So now we're curious, like if that was a graveyard across the street, where are those graves?
Where are the graves?
Did they move the graves?
Where are the graves of,
Are they still there?
Like, could it have been children?
Was it children?
From like an orphanage or something? You know what I mean? Because that stuff was pretty common, right?
Yeah.
Right back in the day?
Yeah.
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 I don't know, man.
So now I need to figure out what cemetery was there, where those graves are, and is a rose buried there?
Yeah.
Was a rose buried there?
Yeah, you need to start looking up. Yeah, I agree about Rose, a 9-year-old Rose in the
I need
area.
more info. I need to have Stacy come back and see if she can.
Well, it
find out
should
some
be
more.
public record for any of that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
but I don't know when. Like, how do you
What do they call that machine? The fish?
the microfiche?
The microfiche.
You want me to go to the library and get on the microfiche and
Yes.
look up for roses?
Yes.
Do you have any roses?
Right.
Which is funny. Then, like the next day or two or whatever, my daughter and I, we went to an event and she won. They had like a silent auction and she won this flower arrangement that had roses in it.
Oh.
And my daughter knows nothing.
Right.
She has no idea that Stacy came over.
Okay.
I do not talk to her about the ghosts
Gotcha.
or the noises.
Yeah.
If she hears something, I just tell her, "Yep, what you heard," or or she won't say stuff or whatever. I just don't make a big deal of it.
I see.
So she has no clue. So it was funny that she picked out an arrangement that had roses in it.
Right.
So then they started to die except for this one. This one was still there. So I put it in a special cup and I said, "Here, this one's for you, Rose." Stuck it on my mantle.
There you go.
So I think that made her happy.
Oh, I bet it did. Yeah, you got to keep her happy.
I do, right?
Yeah. Don't make her angry. Do not make the ghost angry.
No.
That's when you get like the poltergeist and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's straight where my mind went when you said about the closet. I'm like, man, this is a freaking poltergeist.
Why would there be kids in the closet?
I don't know.
Why a bunch of them? She's like, "There's a lot of kids in here." That's what she said.
She didn't give any specific number.
No, she just said, "There's lots of
Okay.
kids in here."
I would just, maybe an old family, and that's where the kids, because back then they had like 18 kids.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I guess it depends on the definition of how many.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I mean, either way.
Do you think they're related to Rose? So it's not like a psycho killer, right? So this weird guy that's hanging out.
Why are they all young?
I know.
That's creepy.
I know.
I had to do it.
You did. So, yeah, that's my up-to-date ghost story.
That is, you got homework.
I know.
Yeah.
I got to research Greencastle and see where that cemetery went.
Yeah, you do.
If I can find Rose. I think it would be awesome if I figured out who Rose was.
I mean, have you tried, like, the internet,
I tried one night, but it didn't get me very far.
I wouldn't try it at home.
Why?
Rose might not like it.
Well, maybe I'm supposed to help her.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe.
That's why she's still there.
I mean, look, you got a choice between does she want you to help or does she not want you to help? Which road do you want to go down?
Whatever Rose wants, she can have.
Right.
Right now. As long as she keeps quiet and stops knocking my pictures off the wall, flickering the lights.
That's right, because she admitted to knocking the pictures off the wall.
Yep.
But was anything said about the refrigerator?
No, and I didn't bring up the refrigerator.
Okay.
This is the first time I mentioned the refrigerator.
Because, like, I could totally see, like, some asshole dad, smacking the refrigerator, like, if his kid was trying to get something to eat at midnight. You know what I mean? You know how kids do.
And if my daughter heard sweeping.
Yeah.
Which I thought was weird.
Maybe he was super strict and he was kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And made her
chores.
sweep. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so she was out there doing it, man.
Yeah.
And then she tried to get in the refrigerator and he keeps smacking it shut.
Maybe.
Because he's a jerk.
Yeah.
We both reached for the button.
But Stacy never went to the basement or the attic.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting. It never took her there.
It never took her there.
No.
And you didn't feel obligated to say, hey, you want to check this out?
No, I think what she had went through and what she did, I felt like was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And she tells me that when she goes to a place, because she does this, so I'll have her on later. She can give you all your details if you need someone to clean your house.
Right.
Not by sweeping, though.
Cleanse your house.
Cleansing your house.
Yes.
She will pull up outside, and she even said to me, she's like, I will like some type of like meditation, or she just kind of gets into her zone or whatever.
Yeah.
And if she senses anything evil, demonic, whatever, bad, she won't go in.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I don't blame her. 'Cause that stuff, you don't want to mess with the bad stuff.
No doubt.
You don't want that attaching to you. Because I've known people who have said that, they've gotten attached and it's not fun to have.
Right. Well, you even had somebody back out who said, they were like.
Well, yeah, because I had this all set up with another friend. So Justin was coming in with another friend.
Right.
And we were going to do this whole basic cleanse thing of it. And the crazy thing is that I just met, which I think the world brings people together for reasons.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it was so crazy because it was funny because my hairdresser is the one who told me about Stacy.
Right.
And Stacy is also a client of the station here. And so my hairdresser's like, oh, just call Stacy. She'll, you should talk to her. She's great. And I'm like, I'm not just going to call Stacy and be like, hey, I think I have a ghost in my house.
Right.
I don't, I didn't want to, that's just not me. It's not my style. But it was weird because it was not even like a week later. Then Stacy comes in here to record.
Oh, right, yeah.
And like I haven't seen her for like when clients come in, it's here in PU.
Oh yeah, right.
And
same.
You're not unless you're scheduled to help that person, which I'm all new to this, so I'm not scheduled to help anybody.
Right.
I'm still being helped.
Yeah, you and me both.
And I just happened to see her walk by, and I was like, I think that's Stacy. Oh my gosh.
Right.
And that's why I stopped her, and I was like, so I understand that you can help with ghosts.
Yeah.
And so it was just so weird how that lined up.
Right.
So then I have a friend who also has dabbled with this and explored and helped things. So I first had told her, and of course Justin, and they were going to come up and cleanse the house and get rid of it for me.
Yeah.
Well, and I had mentioned to Justin and my friend that I had mentioned to Stacy and like, what do you think? And they're like, well, let us do it, whatever.
Yeah.
Then maybe if whatever. So as my friend was getting prepared, like they do, like whatever they mentally get in the zone. Yeah,
Nice.
that's the only thing I know.
Right.
She kept seeing Stacy.
Oh. Okay.
She kept seeing Stacy in her visions.
Gotcha.
And like there's certain like I'm still learning all this. And there's like certain numbers, and once like she had like 3 times.
That's right.
That
I
was
remember
her
hearing
number.
that, yeah.
So she was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And even her mother, she had her phone on silent.
Right.
Like it was not supposed to ring whatsoever. Somehow her mother broke through and her phone rang while she was doing her meditation and was saying, are you okay?
Right.
And she's like, what do you mean, are you okay? She's like, I had a dream at 3 a.m.
That's right, yeah.
And this was happening, I think, at 3 p.m. or something. Like, it's still 333. It was all these threes.
Yeah.
Fever 333. Sorry. So her mom had a dream at 3 a.m. that she was in a dark place and couldn't get out. So that's why I can't do it.
Right.
You're gonna have to let Stacy do this. There's some reason why Stacy was brought to you.
Yeah.
Stacy keeps coming in my vision. Stacy needs to do this.
Right.
And so Stacy did.
Oh, man.
And now I'm going to have her on a podcast and so give her point of views
Yes.
and how she went through and what she saw and what maybe I misunderstood or still learning the whole process.
I mean, if y'all are all right with it, I'd like to sit in on that one.
You can surely join.
Right on. I mean, but she might not be, so, definitely check with
she's
her.
open.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
she's open to people. And
Gotcha.
She even wants to, like, if you want to further in or you think you might have have a gift or something and you don't understand it, she'll mentor you.
Cool.
She has classes.
Gotcha.
She does one-on-one stuff.
Wow, I had no idea.
And, like, she even offered for us to, if we get a group here, she would do a whole thing at my house.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Man, we should do that.
We should do that,
We
right?
should, yes.
I think
we
so.
totally should.
Yeah, maybe we can get some of the listeners in on it, too.
Yeah, right,
Like,
right.
hey, you want to meet Nasty's ghost?
Yeah,
Her
right.
name's Rose. Bring her a Rose, please.
Oh, man.
And some
I
toys.
feel like Rose might get mad.
I don't know.
Look, I just don't, just as long as she stays there.
Wait, have I ever told you about the balloon?
I don't think so.
When we first moved in there, which is has it been 2 years, 3 years?
You said 2 years when we started, but it's been longer than that,
Has
hasn't
it been almost 3?
Well, because you used to talk about it on air with somebody. Was that at the same place?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's been a long time ago.
It was last co-host. Last morning co-host I had.
Right. Which,
Well, I guess because, oh my goodness, we had a birthday party for my daughter in the basement. So I had decorations up in the basement. Even Crazy Bob was there. I don't know if she was turning 4 or 5. I think she was turning 5. And her birthday's in March. Because we moved up here before she went to school.
okay.
So 2.5.
Yeah, I'd say probably 3.
Yeah, so we're almost 3 years. Because I
Yeah.
moved in the wintertime.
Okay. So you might actually be working on like 4 then, maybe. No?
I think we're almost to 3. 2.5, 3 years.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? You might be right. Because I'm sitting here thinking, I know who your last co-host was and everything, and I've been here for 5. So, but he was gone before I ever became full-time.
Well, yeah, because I had my surgery in 2019.
Okay.
Wasn't it? So it's been 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
3 years?
Well, I was gonna say he's been gone since before I went full time, and I'm almost at 2 years full time.
Wow. Okay, so maybe it's been 3 years,
Yeah.
3.5 years.
Yeah, maybe you're working on year 4. Yeah, 3.5, 4 years. Yeah,
Time flies.
it does. It really does.
Well, anyway, there's a regular balloon downstairs that has confetti in it.
Right.
It's still blown up.
Really?
Not helium, just air.
Okay.
It's still blown up.
Really? Has it lost any?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting.
I had other ones, and all the other ones have shrank down to nothing.
Okay.
Except for this one that's in the corner.
No doubt.
And I freaked out because my daughter ripped it down one day, and I was like, "No, what are you doing?"
Right.
And she's like, "What? I don't want it up there." I'm like, "No." And I put it back up because I'm like,
Right.
because clearly someone wants that balloon up.
Yeah. Rose.
Because how can a balloon last that long? With air?
I don't think I've seen one. And clearly, like you said, all the others.
All the other ones like shriveled up. to
And how
nothing.
many would you say?
How many balloons I had blown up? Probably like 6 to 8.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe 8. Yeah, 8, 10. I don't know.
Okay.
Down there, and all of them shriveled up to nothing except for that one.
Yeah, that's wild.
Almost 4 years later.
I mean, yeah, I can't find any logical reason that it would still be.
Right?
intact.
Yeah. Something's keeping it.
No doubt. Roses.
Well, and now it makes sense, the chalk face I had on my floor. I don't think I've shared this with anybody.
No. I was going to say,
I never shared this with you with the video?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever shared anything, even on air, about this. But not long after I moved in, I went down to the basement. Now, my basement's like the play area for the kids.
Okay.
So there's Barbie doll houses and even couches and
stuff. I was
going to
say, I don't know if I've ever seen your basement.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
I'll have to show
I've seen your attic. I feel like there's very sexual jokes in there somewhere.
You never been down to the basement?
Yeah. Not your basement.
I'll have to show you sometime. There's a lot of toys down there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Lots of toys. And a balloon.
Yes.
There you go. So, yes, when you go in the right long, talking take two. So, not long after I moved in, I was doing a lot of the Snapchat thing. That's when I started thinking that there was something going on because I'd get a lot of the filters showing up in the basement.
Gotcha.
And I would do like the dog face because they said, because you have to have a face, especially with the tongue.
Yeah.
To come out.
Okay.
To open your mouth.
Right.
And I would get the tongue to open with the Snapchat filter.
Gotcha.
So one time I went down there and I looked on the floor and my daughter had been down there but back up. Mm-hmm. And then I ran back down for something and I look on the floor and it looks like someone had took, the big chalk, like sidewalk chalk.
Yeah.
And made what do you call it? Like the mad face where it's like two eyes and the straight across mouth.
Okay, right.
And it disappeared right in front of my face.
No.
No lie.
Really?
Literally disappeared in front of my face. I started taking a photo. I was trying to take a video, but I couldn't get my phone because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is disappearing in front of my face. And then at the last minute, I got a little bit of the video of the last eyes going away.
Oh, man.
So I'm assuming that was Rose, and whatever was happening, she was not happy with.
She was not happy about.
And she made this mad face in my carpet. And then it disappeared. And I tried to recreate it. I tried to make I thought maybe it was coming in from, I have little, they're basement windows.
Yeah, right.
And they have curtains on them. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of sunlight gets in the basement.
Right.
It's a basement.
Let alone wind.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have
because, when you said it wiped away, I was thinking maybe wind, but.
Maybe.
But not.
I never showed you that video?
No, you'll have to show me.
Yeah, I still have it.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
Dang.
Literally, it had two eyes and a mad face, and it just disappeared right in front of me.
Oh, man, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it was Rose.
Well, maybe when you came down, Rose got happy, and she was like, oh, we don't need to say
let me go there.
Yeah.
I'm happy now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, man.
Her balloon's still down there.
Good.
So you want to go to my basement?
Yeah. Nice.
So you have any questions about my ghost? Did I think I covered it all?
I think, yeah. I was going to say.
It's like 40 minutes long.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, wow.
You killed this one.
We sure did.
No, I just want to know more. I want to know what Stacy says.
She'll be here this week.
Okay.
So we can sit back in and see what she has to say. And
awesome.
What she actually felt and what I misunderstood. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure I probably misunderstood something.
Right. I gotcha.
Because I'm I just kept sitting on the couch just watching. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the rod thingies, she would kept pointing to me and Stacy would say, yes, that's her. Uh-huh.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she had this, she likes me and likes my daughter, which I'm glad.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Right.
But, I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to get her to move on.
Right.
But,
to go toward the light.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You've got some research to do, and I want to know what you find out.
Yeah, you need to help me find the historian of Greencastle.
All right, let's do it. I mean, if
you're listening out there in podcast world, if you know who a historian of the Greencastle area is, please let them know that I'm looking for them.
Yeah,
and
right.
I want to know areas, the graveyards, because there is a graveyard at the end of my road.
Okay.
So I'm wondering.
I thought so. Yeah.
If they moved that.
Oh.
Maybe that was they moved it down there when they started rebuilding.
And they got lost and ended up in your closet.
I know. Why my closet?
I don't know.
I have a nice house.
Yeah, why not?
The basement?
Right, I was gonna say the basement, but I thought that was a little messed up. Like,
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of room down there. We don't barely go down there.
Right.
It has plenty of toys. But yeah.
I mean, it sounds like these kids are just taking over the street.
Well, not anymore.
Well, not anymore. Well, I don't know.
I guess not.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't played the app either.
Oh, okay.
Since then.
Oh, you totally should.
I know.
Yeah, take the next couple nights since
And
she's gonna be here this week and do that. Yeah.
Be like, hey Rose, you want to talk?
Right.
Talk
Nice.
to me, see what she says.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You totally should.
All right. I will. I'll see what it says. And then I'll ask her about like what she thinks about these apps.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot out there.
Right.
And then supposedly they're like, these professional ghost hunters and, use them.
Right.
And I mean, at first I thought it was just like play. Because it says it's for entertainment and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I started seeing like actual people who hunt were using them. And then like some of the weird stuff that was happening, like when I would get messages, or get it to say words was just like weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one day when I was in the studio, it said Greg.
Yeah, right. I mean, and I've heard it say some pretty weird things, but yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to check it out.
Uh-huh.
Got to try it.
All right. Well, podcast world, you're going to have to stay tuned for more ghost stories with Nasty and Wobbly Bob.
Dig it.
It'll be interesting. So my next podcast will be us again with Stacy and her perspective and what results of what she experienced, from her side.
Yeah.
From what I was watching, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and she can probably actually tell us what these bars or rods that she was holding are actually like, the proper
term.
Yeah, the proper term, yeah.
The rods.
Right.
They weren't golden rods. Well, they kind of were. Like the crayon. My second favorite color.
I'm still sorry. What? I've got a dirty mind.
That's what I was pitching you up for. I'm waiting for you to
I've got a rod.
Is it golden?
Can be.
Ooh. His name is Wobbly Bob. You can reach him at 1015 Bob Rocks.
Yeah, nice.
Number's 800-756-1015.
Extension 1. I don't know.
So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you again. Nasty Bob out.